Family. Yeah. I've also kind of started this process where I wouldn't call myself a healer. Like, that's just I feel really like ick when I say that. I started talking to people and I seem to enjoy that a lot. Like, just discussing things with people and trying to find patterns. So I'm like a pattern manager. Would be a new term, I guess. A pattern manager. I watch your patterns, I see it, and I kind of find out where the problem is. And I can give you a few solutions to tackle barriers and see if that gets you anywhere you want to go. Still test phase, still test driving. Don't know yet. Well, I'll let you know. Family, yeah. You were saying that family is just because they're family, you don't have to love them.
No, it's not really that you don't have to love them, but well, first of all, yeah, you don't have to love them because it's family, and it's not that I don't love my family, but you were talking about different kind of love.
Yeah.
Last time, I guess my family. They are not huggers. They are not kissers. They're not. They don't say anything, but it doesn't mean that they don't love each other, I guess, and it's the same for me. I could go years without talking to them, and all of a sudden we meet, and it's like
nothing never changed.
Nothing never changed.
Yeah, what's good.
And it's not only with family; it's with everyone.
Yeah.
And I don't feel it's a wrong thing.
No.
Some people feel the way to keep connected, keep in touch, even though they have nothing to say, and it shows. And it's really unnecessary, I think. I mean, if I don't have anything to say to you, I won't talk to you, because why would I force myself to talk to you just to say, just I had that feeling
Small
that I
talk.
kept in touch,
Yeah.
and that I did my duty, by keeping in touch with you. So, like, to me, it makes no sense. It does make sense to some people, and it's fine, but
some people need it. I mean, I've talked before about how in the club, I genuinely started that film club because I wanted to make films. And when I arrived, it's because I want to make films with people. I think that almost everyone else attends in spite of the actual reason that we're attending.
Yeah.
They meet to hang out, and I have a chronic phobia of hanging out, and I think people are hanging out way too much.
Yeah.
Just the amount of chat that comes out of it. Like, this is amazing. How can you say so many things about nothing? I haven't said anything, and I've got so much. If I was you, I would feel like I had so much to say,
Yeah.
Because the amount that's coming out is just wild. But it depends on the person, right? I don't. I think I started that club in spite of all the social contact that it would give me, because I don't need that much. And I think that similarly, I think that when it's taken me even now until my 30s to go like, yeah, it doesn't make me a bad guy that I don't want to hang out for a few weeks.
No.
I just don't need to do it, and I no longer feel the need to, I'm no longer guilted into doing it in the way that other people would be like, oh, why don't you want to see me? Why do you want to do this? And it's like, I don't know, when you grow up in a family and everyone has the same rules and you don't want to do it, you just feel like you have to grin and bear it. And then you grow up feeling like you have to grin and bear life itself. And then when you get to do your own life, your own thing as an adult, then you have to unprogram all of this stuff where you go, it's such a relief, because you're like, oh my God, I don't need to do that anymore. That was never about being a good guy. That was just about what they like to do. That they don't notice. They just assume that what they like to do and what makes you a good guy were the same thing.
yeah.
And now I can uncouple this and just be like, I talk to my brother like once a year, honestly, and it's if we think of one another and we have like a funny meme to share, and that's it. And I know it's sincere, because he won't contact me otherwise.
Yeah.
I'm the same. That's my opening ramble.
All right.
Well, I think we are all just reflections of our families, right? Everything comes from there. So they are your first point of contact.
For better or worse.
Yeah, for better or worse. It doesn't matter what situations and circumstances can make people differ, right? Like maybe there's a life-threatening or something that really changed for you in your life. And that could be the trigger point where you understood that you are a different person compared to them. Like in my life, music. Like my family, they love music, and they sing every day, more than I do, which is really funny, but yet I'm the musician and they're not. So it's strange. And a family full of engineers, and a son who's did 2 years of electronics and telecommunication and dropped it because he was like, screw this, I want to do music. Music is healing. I want to do that. So I think we're all part of a system, and I think it's all discovery of life. And I think you're right about it. Like, if it's sincere approaches are much more appreciated than just, oh, because you're my brother or because you're my sister, you have to call me every day, check in on me, and to me the family gossip. Right?
And you can be sad that those sincere approaches are not as frequent as you would like, but if they're not honest, then you're not going to get more.
Yeah, exactly.
But don't you think it could be a cultural thing? Because
Definitely.
because like if you see the Arabic families, and if you see Arabic families, and you see Indian families, and you see non-European families, have a very different approach to things.
Oh yeah.
They're very, very different. Like families are always together.
Yeah.
Like there's this thing, like they're always together. Even if you have to go to the store,
Oh yeah.
and you decided that it's just to go and pick up 2 packets of spaghetti, but it becomes like sometimes it can become a huge ordeal.
Yeah.
Like everybody is getting ready to go to the store to buy 2 packets of spaghetti. I was like, why? This is so pointless. Can I just not go and get it? And you guys sit here? Like, I'm just saying spaghetti. It's not like that they're going to shoot me if they're like, what? No, our families don't do that. No, I meant like, anything is a family thing. So always, like, come up when you eat dinner, my dad will not eat dinner unless we are all present at home. It's not like, okay, I'm hungry, I'm just going to eat. It's like, no, we wait for everybody. In a way, there's warmth in that. Like, because they sacrifice their own good for their own appetite for you.
Yeah.
But then
Shouldn't mess with food either.
yeah, and also it's like sometimes it can be like they pushed it too hard that they get hangry, and by the time you're there, you are the reason you disrespected them, and now they haven't eaten. Like that's where the problem begins, right? But if you look at it in the nicer spectrum, in the nicer spectrum, which is, hey, I won't eat without you guys all being here, and I feel that's warm. It's a very father figure like gesture. Like the father always says, "Oh, let's all sit together. Let's all break bread together,
Yeah.
and then you do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just come here."
When I grew up, like sometimes I'd come home and there would be nothing to eat, and then I don't know. Supermarkets are really far away or something, and you have to go with your parents. But then my mom would just come home at like 8 p.m. at night and be like, "Oh, I thought we would all eat together," and then you have to wait like an extra half an hour for a takeaway or something.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, "What?" And she was such this romantic woman that she'd just have in, "We always eat together," and it's like I could name you 10 times
We
in the
actually-
last month when we didn't, but it's just gone over in her head that. Oh, and then it's like, oh, if you want to eat before she shows up, then suddenly it's an insult. And then you're like, okay, I've got to be hungry, or I'm, or guilty.
Yeah.
Then it's complicated. The emotions are getting wrapped up with eating times and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, I see that. I hear you. Everybody, yeah.
Although I will say that I'm mostly thankful for my family. Like I love my family, and I love a lot of the arbitrary things that they gave me. Like I always say that Robertsons are romantics. I'm a Robertson, and when I say that, people always. I can tell that one really shocks people actually when I say Robertson's a romantic. Normally people go, and I go, what? And they go, I just never would say something like that about my own family. And I'm like, well, I didn't fucking ask you, did I? I said Robertson's romantics. What are you talking about? Because they're just like, suddenly they don't have that same lovely association with their own family and they feel guilty. Because my parents, they both passed away, but they were together up until death do they part.
Yeah.
And so it's my first association with like a romantic couple, the strongest one, the one that I know the best, was them together until the end. That's so powerful to me because I still believe that can happen, and I know that that's rare, and I'm extremely thankful for that. I also know that it's extremely biased. Why, just because my parents are together, is there any chance that I might do the same? No, but that's how my brain works.
Yeah.
And it's a nice way that my brain works, so I will accept it.
Yeah. How was your family in terms of did you see your mom and dad kiss or hug?
No.
No. Never saw.
Never. I don't think so.
Yeah, but even my family was like that. My dad and my mom, I've never seen them hold hands, kiss, hug. No, my dad's awkward with hugs. Like I told you, right? I always go right of the person I meet, and he comes right of the person. I was like, Dad, not this way, Dad, this way, right. Yeah, we just bonk heads, or we just get really awkward, like uncomfortable, because he's going towards my left and I'm going towards his right. So it's like, dude, okay, this way. So I've never seen that, but for some reason I always felt like, family is the only place where you would find love. You start understanding what love is, or, that's where it begins. And that journey was very powerful for me, because every time I see families together and I see how they are, I always see, like, the father is always being very gentle with the mom, like the mom's always having the kids, and he's also got a kid on him, but there's always this sense of harmony between them, some families. Yeah. But in my household, my dad and my mom loved each other to pieces, but they fucking hated each other too. Mm-hmm. It was like this, like living in a really bad system, like in a prison cell that you had no choice.
It sounds unstable.
Yeah, very unstable. So it was always like up and down and up and down. So one day they were very happy together, and the next day they were fucking like throwing pots and pans at each other. So it was like that. And I remember seeing that, but I could have chosen I could have chosen the bad part and become horrible in relationships with people. But I don't know, I think it's also when you have a life and death experience, things change. Mm-hmm. And suddenly you start to realize that, listen, all of this doesn't matter. So if you hold a lot of grudge and anger within you, well then when you pass, you don't want to regret just minutes or moments before you pass. Like, dude, it would have been so much better if it was just happier and lighter.
Forgive
right?
For your own sake.
Forgive for your own sake and move. Yeah,
just
and because when you die, when you're just about to die or something, like you don't want to be like, fuck, I wish it was better. No, I don't want to go yet. Like, like I want to make that better. But die with no regrets. I just do the good stuff, right? So
why did your parents get together? Do you know? Were they in love?
No, not really. I think they were, like traditional families, arranged marriage. They found each other like that, and then they got to know each other a little bit. And my dad was probably doing all of this to make his parents happy, but deep down he was very ambitious. He was selected for as a fighter pilot. Yeah, so he was going to do the tests for the army, and he was doing all of that. But somehow he felt like his mom was casting this bad eye because she didn't want him to go into the army and get killed. So she just kept, and just on the day he was supposed to have his test, he got a cold and he couldn't pass. He didn't pass the physical test.
Okay.
So he was just like, yeah, you got it, Mom. You wanted it. That's right. You wanted it. You manifested it now. Here you go. So he was ambitious. Then my mom met. He met my mother. My mother's a beautiful lady. So he was just like, oh, damn. I get her. Nice. But then, that was great. But then their personalities, polar opposites.
Okay.
Like super. My dad's the go-getter, and my mom's the one who just wanted to be at home raising her children. But because of the situation, we were in Dubai, and everybody had to work, and I have 95 jobs. Yeah. And, yeah. So the pressure of the place also harmed the marriage, and both wants. Like what one wants, the other one. The communication was out the window. No one talked. Now, they're inseparable. It's crazy. My mom cannot do anything without my father. My father will not do anything without the mother. So now it's just like, oh wow, where was this when we were growing up? It's so beautiful. They sit on the same couch together. They're just laughing the same jokes. You could see them like when I called them on video. They're looking at it. Look at this video. And I was like, it's so nice to see this. Thank you. So, cool. So I guess if you believe in change and if there's something there, I think it will happen. Yeah. Cool. And we're humans, right? We all need hugs and we all need warmth.
We're all a little bit gay, unfortunately.
Yeah, a little bit.
I can help it.
I feel like warmth is a moment of truth. Can I say the moment of truth? Okay. So when I see Leo, I always have a hug, right?
Yeah.
And he always gives me this, like sometimes he goes into this bear hug mode.
That's if you really need it.
Yeah, he gives me that. But I've noticed with you, Rafael, So when I give you a handshake, you give me a handshake, but even if I lean in, there's a little bit of resistance. Yeah. But that's cool. That's perfectly okay.
Because I really hate physical contact. I don't need it.
No.
I just don't like it.
No.
I feel very uncomfortable
Okay.
with physical contact.
And how is it with friends and stuff, like in school, and how was that?
What do you mean? 'Cause
Like, did you guys high fives, play
No.
around, hugs,
not
wrestle?
really.
No.
Not that I recall. No.
No.
Never really had a lot of friends, but with a few I've had. No, it never really happened.
No.
It's like handshake is like
The max.
the max. Yeah.
It's the same for me as well. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
I think it's because in our culture, it's all about giving. If you have that sort of energy bubbling in you, you always go and they'll be like, dude, you're like in my friends, like they love my hugs. Like I go all in, and I hold them, and when I hold them, they're just like, you're okay with that? I was like, fuck yeah, man, what's wrong with that? And he's like, well, isn't it like gay to do that? And I was like, what? Giving a man a hug is gay? What's wrong with you? No, it's absolutely liberating. Life just feels so much better. Like even in bed, like I cannot cuddle. Like I always have to, hold. And if it's a person, I'm like, come here. And if it's always a woman, luckily for me.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, I feel like I'm suffocating if people are entering my
Space.
my space. Yeah.
Okay.
Even that right now, I feel uncomfortable because it's way too. I would say intimate. It's not really intimate, but it's like too close for comfort.
Your boundaries.
Yeah. My boundaries are. It would be the whole floor actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Please stay
exaggerating,
away
but,
from.
to put it like that, I don't crave physical contact, or I don't crave interactions at all. I'm forcing myself because you can't really go your whole life without interaction. It's really hard. It has to be conscious choice, like be a hermit and live in the forest. And
It adds value to your life. You don't need to know how, but you need other people.
yeah. Sorry, what did you say? You need other people? Is that what you said?
Yeah, to some extent.
Oh yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean, we are a dependent species.
Yeah.
We can never truly. I never truly understood independence. Like I don't think we are as humans are capable of being truly independent, because if you're truly independent means you just make your own food. Nobody packs your food for you. No, it's not available in the store. You don't get a taxi. Nothing. You just have to, go back into the woods and live there by yourself, one with nature, one with animals. But we are pack animals, right? We are pack species. We like packs. So I would think that it's in a way I can see where you come from. But would you say that that's stemming from what you've seen?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. It's more like how I've become, because of course my family was trying to force interaction. Force interactions, like probably a bad thing to say, but a family, they want the best for you, right?
Yeah.
So what is the best is what everyone does.
Yeah.
So everyone is interacting, everyone is going to your friend's birthday, everyone is doing that kind of thing, interacting with other people.
Yeah.
But I've grown like to someone who just doesn't like it, and I don't need it.
No.
For me, I could spend, honestly, I have a dream, like a recurring dream, and I'm not saying that I would be very happy in that dream, but I feel like I would be extremely happy if I was the only one on the planet. I would be the happiest.
Okay.
And I'm actually dreaming that kind of scenario, like Walking Dead kind of scenario, like, oh, finally alone. I can do whatever I want, whenever I want. But to be honest, I don't think I would be very happy with that. It would get...
It'd be like the best 2 weeks of your entire life.
It would get the best too, exactly.
I would give it a week.
Yeah.
I'd give it a week, and then you'll be like, "Yo, listen, I need to hear another person, like somewhere, even the radio.
Yeah.
Can someone just talk?"
I agree that I think that you and I are in the minority of not needing that much. attention. And actually, I know we're not fully independent, but I'm as independent as I possibly can before I require another person, which sometimes means I don't ask for help as much as I need.
Yeah.
It does mean I can do stuff other people can't because I refuse to do it with another person if possible. And that's the thing. I think most people don't notice how much more interaction they require, and they think if you're not doing it, there's something wrong with you, and they think they're helping you if they make you do it as much as they do, and that's unfair.
Yeah,
It's not recognizing who you are.
No. But I think, do you think that stems from family? Because I think I always say that, when you're out, your first memory is with your family, unless otherwise.
I think it stems from a kind of privilege, honestly. From everyone just being very similar, they assume that their similarity or their majority is just the best thing. I mean, you've experienced that as a minority as well. And it's just that, I think. They're just like, I'm helping you because most people are like me. I'm helping you be like me. Most people are like me, therefore it's a good thing. Well, most people were Nazis at one point in time, so...
Yeah, does not mean that you have to be,
Calm down, Hitler.
But if you can elaborate on that. Yeah. Like,
I'm going to cut that bit.
No. We don't have to cut that. Just put it in there. Nothing's ridiculous. We're just talking about it. Huh?
Hitler's Baby Shower is the name of this episode.
But like, elaborate on the thing you said that do you think that when a person offers help or something like that, they are trying to...
It's a bit zealous. That we're like a Christian might say, like, I'm getting saved. Are you not getting saved? Well, it's okay. You like come to my church. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
And now you're in my church. Isn't that better? No. It's just your belief. Have fun. Go nuts. You're not coming.
Yeah, but what if a person genuinely offers help? Like just because that person wants to help.
It can be the best intent in the world. But if it's... I think don't ever offer me unsolicited help.
Yeah.
Because if I ask for help, I'm already in danger because I don't want to do it.
Okay.
So if I'm asking for help, give me the help I need.
Yeah.
Don't think, oh, he's cranky, you must need a sandwich. I'm like, no, I need you to like fix my taxes because they're coming tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing. Don't be like, this is because you have unresolved issues with your father. No, it's because my taxes. I know myself. Fix the thing I said I wanted help with.
Yeah.
Don't assume I have problems I don't. It's a very it can be a very arrogant thing. This is my own experience of the world. I don't know.
Yeah.
Why do you ask? What
Because I've seen the only reason I ask is because I know of people who are genuinely out there, like there are I would call them I don't know, empaths in a way.
Sure.
So they see that a person might need something, but they never go. They're not like the Mormons or the Jehovah's Witnesses who show up at your door and be like, hey, listen, I have something to say. No, shut up. If I don't want to talk to you, just leave. But some are just there to help because they feel that there's a void in someone, like they see it way before you see it, in a way, and then they offer, and their offer is really genuine. Like, it's just like, listen, is there anything I can do for you? Like, just tell me.
That's a nice open question.
Yeah. Like, I can do, just if you want me to go to the store, I don't expect anything back from you. You don't need to join my club. You don't need to be anybody.
Yeah.
Just want to help because I feel like you could use my help here and that would help you lift off. Do you think that would be?
It's very suspicious. Yeah. I would find that extremely suspicious, and it makes me feel very uncomfortable because I know that when someone is doing something for you, there is always like a thought, right? There is always, you are helping me, but you want money, or there is always something for you, and probably I'm probably wrong because some people are just doing that because they mean it. They want to be helpful, but I just can't believe it.
No.
It's hard to believe it.
Interesting.
The road to something, the road to evil is paved with good intentions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, there's something very interesting that we talk about a lot, which is you talk a lot about sensing other people's energy, and I definitely believe that art comes from intuition, right? It's just something you know inside and you don't know why you know it.
Yeah.
And when it comes out, it's good.
You just know it's there, and you just can't. Yeah.
And applying that to other people is tricky because we don't know what's going on in somebody's head. But I do sometimes feel I can sense what somebody needs. So there's a quotation I really like. There's this writer, Anne Lamott. She said, lighthouses don't go running around looking for ships to save. They just stand where they are, shining their light. And I really feel that Juan and I don't know why people know this, but they know that we're very approachable people. Sometimes people, like one very drunk Icelandic woman came up to us in a bus and she was like, "Hi, my boyfriend was really like mean to me last night and he rejected me or something." And we were like, "Oh, that's okay, come sit down beside us. Like, where have you been this evening?" She was like, "Oh, I was at a party, I'm an artist." We're like, "You're an artist, you got some stuff in galleries?" Yeah. And then like we just stuck with her, we listened to her until it was her stop, or until it was our stop, and then we got off. And I thought, God, I've been there. I've been that really drunk person who just needs somebody to talk to. I'm so glad I was the person. I'm so glad she figured that we were that person for her. And I'm so happy I was there for her at that time. So I go around with a kind of hoping I have a good vibe. And if somebody picks up on that and they're correct, I'm so happy to help.
Yeah.
And through the club, sometimes people have gone like, "Can we meet?" And they'll meet me for a coffee. It won't be about the filmmaking thing. It will be the fact that I was confident enough to lead a group, which I wasn't always able to do. They just kind of go, if this guy is sorted enough in himself that he can run a group, probably has some advice for me. And people have confessed some very personal things about themselves to me outside of the club, which I think is one of the reasons why it got so tough, actually, because it really genuinely was just about filmmaking for me, but it became about something else for everyone else. It became about the community. And suddenly I was needed too much, and I was being asked to do things that was weighing on me too much because I'm a very sensitive guy.
Yeah.
And suddenly I felt I had very deep issues from certain people, almost directly my responsibility, because I know how cold people around here can be. So helping other people is complex and messy, and nobody does it 100% perfect. And I'm totally here for good intentions, because I feel like here people need people more than they're getting people, for sure.
Yeah.
So if they're getting the wrong kind of people, or they're getting like people who mess things up a little bit, that's better than nothing. Because it's a very lonely city. What a random ramble that was.
No, but it's good. No, it's good. I was just no. You struck a lot of really good points there. You struck a lot of good points there. No. But
Yeah,
it
it was
all
about family. Yeah.
It all stems from there, right? Like you discover a lot of yourself too. You when you look at yourself, you do remind yourself of your parents some way or the other. Like they're like, there's this physical imprint, right? You've seen them and you know them, so.
Family is like your first unchosen community.
Exactly, yeah. It's your first ever test
Chosen community.
in this life, right? You can take something good from them and you can be like them, or you could be exactly opposite to all they are. Like I am 100% me today because of my parents, right? Because even though I have confronted them and I've really gone into the darkest rooms in my head, and I've invited them in there, like like seriously gone there, like come with me and see this. And you know what? You did not do anything. You didn't do anything. And I confronted them. When I confronted them, I almost put them in their place. And most of the times, my mother was the first one to fight back. She'd always be like, "Well, you don't know how much we did for you. You don't know how much we did for you." And I was like, it's not about how much you did for me. It was never about that. It was just that at this time, I really needed you. And you were the first person who showed me that you were not going to be there. So if you are not going to be there, I don't expect anybody in the world to be there for me. So that's a dead end. You know what I'm saying? So when you confront them about things, I feel like it just opens. Something naturally just inside you opens up and you start seeing things differently, right? Like when I said about the helping thing, if I help you, I can tell you now and I'll take you up on it anytime. I have no ulterior motive. I have nothing to gain from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want your money. I don't want anything to do with anything. If you need help, and if I am readily available there, I will be there to help you. Yeah. Like even just with, remember the chats we had?
Yeah.
Waffles and cream.
Yeah.
Remember that one? That day. We bonded a little after.
Yeah, we had a lovely chat.
Yeah, we had a great chat. This is my only thing. Like, there are people who just want to do things, not because they want anything from you.
But this year was very organic, wasn't it? Because we just said we've got a podcast, and then you start showing up.
Yeah.
And we're all having.
And now you're here, right? You're here.
But nobody's forcing any of us.
Nobody forcing, yeah. And you asked today. I think today was like you asked first. I knew that we were going to meet, and I know it's always like, close to 12, 1 o'clock. I'll always send like, yo, library, or shit, I'm tired when I can't meet, or he had to shoot or something. So, but today it was like, Raf said, hey, I'll meet today. And I was like,
Yeah.
yes, fuck yeah.
It's because I have to plan with work. I need to know how long I'm going to stay, where I need to. Of course, of course, and I really enjoy doing that. But I kind of need to know beforehand. Because I'm lost. Even today, I was like shaky because you didn't confirm the library, you didn't confirm the time. I was like, oh my god, what's going on? And I like when everything is kind of confirmed.
Yeah,
But it just means-
you have a pattern, like a symmetry.
I
You
kinda
need that.
I
Yeah,
kinda
you need it.
to,
Yeah. I hear you,
Because
man.
if it's too random, it's like, are we meeting? Are we not meeting? What am I doing? So, but I mean, it's not nothing about you, of course. It's just.
I think it's because we communicate a lot outside of that, so we kind of know.
Oh my god, you see what he's been wearing?
Yeah. He always is like, yo, Raph is so like, he's cool, right? Like, there's something there about him, right? He's a genius, isn't
sent me
he?
the script and wanted to talk about the script, so he sent stuff. Sometimes I don't want to bother you.
No. It's fine. No worries.
Oh, we don't. You're most welcome to be a part of any conversation you want.
No, it's not. It's not what I'm saying. It just that I asked you when it was because I in my head I need to plan it.
Well, actually,
but
we
this
hear about
Wednesday-
horror film recommendations also, so
Yeah, you guys talk also
Yeah.
separately. So,
I'm just.
like, for me, it's just
And our
like,
conversation is way better.
it's so much better than yours.
DMs right now.
Yeah.
We're gonna have it.
It is so much
Because all the
better.
cats he sent me.
All the cat memes.
Cats and boots. That's all that's on my phone. Yeah.
Piss in bits. Yeah, so it's like, I'm saying this because I know there's a lot of people out there I've seen who are just willing to, they're just like, dude, I just want to help somehow. I feel like my life's calling is that. And that comes from a person, this is coming from a person who's gone through hell, right? I've seen them go through hell and back, like they've gone through so much trauma in their lives as children, and they've beat addictions, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what is it that you want in your life? And they are just like, I just want to help, man. I was like, what help do you want to do? And he was like, I don't know, just fucking, do you want me to carry your groceries? I'll do that. I make my money. I don't need anyone. I just want to do things to help someone. And I was like, oh, this is what I was like, wait a second, this almost resonates with me because that's what I want to do. I saw a letter, like a thing I wrote to myself. I have this pad where I, keep letters clipped, like pages, A4 papers just clipped. It says to-do list on the back of the board, but it's not a to-do list. It's just me scribbling stuff. And I opened this thing today, and I saw, my name is Jeremiah. I want to share goodness. I want to help people and have nothing in return. And I wrote another one. My name is Jeremiah. I want to share happiness, kindness, and I want to uplift people's energies. And then there's like 6 or 7 different versions of that. And I was just like, what the when did I write this?
Do you make sure to give like at least half that energy to yourself?
I always do.
Yeah.
Like sitting here right now is me giving that energy back to me. So I'm here with you, and if I didn't want to do this, I would have been like, guys, listen, this is not working out. I don't want to do this. I'm out. And I've given myself a lot of energy, like in terms of arrogance. I only protected me first. I never gave anything anybody. No, I was like, no. I can't do that anymore because I don't feel like my system and my energy functions. And also I've started to realize that I feel so much better when I help someone. And then I go home and I do exactly what I want. I can help to my capabilities. If I can push my capabilities, I'll do that too. But when I go home, it's me. That is me time. That is my space, and that's me sitting with myself, understanding my traumas, understanding my problems, figuring stuff out. So that's my me time. And I do give that time to me, and I love training. I love thinking about new ways to keep my mental health. I go for walks now in the night.
Nice.
I just take like an hour and a half walk. I just walk and just in my head. And those are times I feel like I'm really one with me. And last night was the full moon. So it was chaos for me in my head. Like I think something about the moon makes me a little...
Can do, yeah.
Yeah, so I can see my best friend also. She was just like, you're edgy today. And I was just like, I need space. Don't talk to me. There's something going on. I don't know what it is. And then I was just like, I need help. What the hell? What is this? Like, I can't do this and that. Will someone help me? So she was just like, okay. And then I was like, I need to go for a walk. I just went an hour and a half, and I came back as calm, as still with myself. And I just went in and I gave her a hug, and I was like, I love you, and I'm grateful for this, and everything is okay. I just needed to talk to her for a little bit. Like, talk to her, meaning me, but talk to me, but because of her influence, the moon.
Yeah.
So, very liberating.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I don't care, but if it's meant to, whatever's meant to come to me will eventually come to me.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, if you want to do good and help, just make yourself available somehow.
Yeah.
Through,
So-
I mean, the podcast is doing it. Coming to the club is one thing. Or
There's people watching it, like even if it's only 39 people I see, but it's a steady 39, 51, 49, 51. So this,
everyone starts with one. Two,
yeah,
you know?
and it doesn't matter. We only have 21 subscribers. I don't care. But as long as this message is there, maybe this will resonate with somebody 10 years from now. And they'll be like, damn, that was right, they were right. It was like, it could be that, maybe not. I don't care. At least consistency is there. That's what is amazing. So
It's helping us.
every Wednesday is like, whether or not we message or not, we just
assume
meet.
it's on.
It's
Yeah, I
on.
assume it's on.
Unless otherwise, like, if someone falls sick or there's a job or something like that. But Wednesdays are on, man. And it was only meant to be him and me. We had no idea that you were going to join. And then he said that, what we asked him, right, at the meeting? How did this happen?
We said to the podcast if anyone wants to join in, and then you were like, "That sounds cool. I
I want to
Yeah,
join.
yeah.
It was when we did our silly videos first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always in for creative stuff, whatever it is. You never know what can come out of it, so usually it's good things. So.
Yeah, this has been awesome.
We've been doing some fun videos, but we have to do this thing that I talked about. But that's not for the podcast. So,
What did you talk to him about?
I'll
Oh my
tell
God,
you.
this is the
what are you guys talking behind my back, man? It's bothering me. I know there's something. Final thoughts? Anybody on final thoughts for family? I think that was the prison. This is where you are first introduced, and that's where you become. But you can choose
This
to
is
get
where
out of
you're
this. That's where you're going. You see that principle, that mindset. That's what's going to land you in the ditch early.
final thoughts on family.
Can live with them, can't live without them. It's a love-hate relationship.
Yeah. I think that we've touched upon so many things. One, that it is like the first community that you don't choose. And there can be good things about having a community that you don't choose, that's definitely going to be there for you, whether or not they want to or not.
Yeah.
Then there's also benefits to choosing your own community later in life and deciding who you're going to be around, who you're not going to be around. They form you in good and bad ways. Like they're definitely the people I look up to the most, I'm shaped the most by. They're also the people who, by proximity to me, have disappointed me the most.
Yeah.
Because the stakes are just so high among people that you're that close with, that you love that deeply. And I'm so glad I'm out of that family home. I don't have nice memories of it. It's nobody's fault. It was just all the noise and the people and the like, time for dinner, stop whatever you're doing, we'll have dinner. Like, I'm so glad nobody has the control to do that over me anymore. It wasn't a good fit. I love them, but it was not a good fit for me. And I'm sad about that because I know that for my parents, those were the happiest times.
They meant well,
Us in the home, yeah.
definitely.
They only meant well there. They were like, stop what you're doing, come and eat.
Very thankful for what they did, but
Yeah.
I'm glad to have full autonomy over my own life now. Finally.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I have no guilt over that.
No.
Finally, it's a lovely feeling. Those are my thoughts on family.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same feelings I have. I'm glad I don't have to do that anymore.
Answer anybody
Yeah.
except yourself. Yeah. I'm still on the discovery path there, so I don't have any final thoughts on it. I can say that I'm still discovering it. I'm still trying to figure it out because now, short story, before every day at 6 o'clock, we had a family prayer. Like I would call because my mom's very religious, and I told her that I'm not religious. Don't expect me to go to church and stuff. I don't do that stuff. But I believe that there's one of the things I learned as a child was the model of Jesus. So I love the character. I love that. He's almost like a superhero, but he doesn't smash things. he just approaches there with this beam of kindness. He's like, hey man, what do you need? Can I help you? Like that kind of guy. Like, oh, wait, how can you throw a stone at her? Have none of you sinned before? Like, that kind of stuff. Like when I read that, I was like, wow, that man is the embodiment of kindness. Damn. How can he be like that? And how can he just take all the world's pressure? So that was it. So I was very inspired by Jesus, right? So I was like, okay, but I don't go around, wearing crosses on my neck and, Jesus is the way of life. Man, shut the fuck up. No one cares about that. Don't do that. Take the good out of it. So right now, after the 10 things, the 10 commandment things, the reminders I sent you, ever since that has happened.
What? You sent me 10 commandments?
I
didn't get this.
I'll share it with you. So the thing is, I wrote these 10 reminders, right? And ever since I asked my parents to record their voices and send it back to me, they've stopped calling me at 6 because now it almost feels like as if their purpose or what they were trying to convey have been conveyed. And now they're like, we don't need those calls anymore, do we? So now after, my phone rings at 6, gives me an alarm, but they don't call anymore like that, right? So I guess like my mom's also like, I don't think we need to pray today because I think we've just, I don't know, something's happened there. So still discovering. So I'll tell you. So that'll be for another podcast. That's ongoing process. Just trying to figure it out why, what happened suddenly. Also, my energy is much more calm now. Before I was always like, what are we doing? What are we doing, man? Like, wasting time. I'm going to be dead soon. Like, who knows? And now I'm like,
You can stop that.
yeah. Trust me, I am very much at peace where I am right now. I'm like, no, I got no beef. Something will happen, it will trigger me. That's because then I'll go back into an old habit of being anxious again.
Of course.
It could happen.
That's healing inside.
But, but I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. I'm not like, oh, I'm Zen 100%. Fuck you, no one's ever Zen 100%. It's impossible. Yeah, so that's that.
Cool.
Peace, motherfuckers.